Kia ora and welcome to AI Demo Day, the first Demo Day event that we've produced for New Zealand.ai. I'm Justin Flitter, I'm the founder of AI New Zealand, and for the last 8 years, we've been helping Kiwi organisations discover why, where and how to be leveraging artificial intelligence. Today, over 2 live demo sessions, you're going to see firsthand 7 different companies and meet the people and deep dive into the product to discover firsthand how you can use these AI tools to unlock the potential of artificial intelligence in your business. Let's get started.
SmartSpace is for businesses who are looking to leverage AI to support innovation. They want to embrace giving their team members the ability to explore and experiment, but have appropriate controls and boundaries. Everybody's got security and privacy concerns, and they need to be catered for, right? We've got regulation coming. It's not if, it's when. So it is actually quite hard to get started with AI, and the constant change is actually slowing down all our technical teams. So what we need to do is give our teams the ability to start while maintaining levels of control, security, privacy, and actually meeting the overarching governance requirements. So this is where SmartSpace comes in. We're a Gen AI platform built on Microsoft technology. We run inside your Azure environment, so it's not a software as a service product. We don't see your data. We give you full control of the language models you want and allow you to securely integrate your data. So think of SmartSpace as your AI core, and it sits between lightweight tools like Copilot and the heavy months-long software infrastructure projects that a lot of organizations are doing, but we take away that time lag. Our platform can be deployed in about an hour, and then you can get started automating, that report you generate that requires input and data from lots of teams and different systems, and it might take you 2 weeks. You can build and incorporate AI workflows across the systems that you've got and streamline and augment and transform your operations. So SmartSpace becomes the AI foundation for your business for the future.
So it's provided that kind of orchestration layer, right? We often kind of talk about disparate data sets. When you're trying to produce a report, and this is kind of one of the use cases, is you've got to talk to people, you've got to curate information from multiple different places, and if we have an orchestration layer, Gen AI, that's kind of overarching our tech stack, it's going to make it a lot easier to pull that information together, right?
Absolutely. So should I go for a quick walkthrough? SmartSpace is the AI foundation for your business. What it means is we're bringing a lot of data into SmartSpace, and it's centralizing that data so we can visualize that for you. Now, over time, what's going to happen is we're going to surface more information here because we're already tracking it in the logs on how people are using how people are using generative AI in your business. So SmartSpace is not a model. It's not like OpenAI or Claude or so forth. What SmartSpace is it's an orchestration platform, and it allows you to connect a whole lot of things and start pushing and pulling data around. So you can actually connect to whatever frontier models you like, or if you're looking for the ultimate levels of privacy and security, you can actually go to the Hugging Face model marketplace and deploy your own models. So that means that you can actually have absolute control over where things sit in your organization. Now, I appreciate I've only got a small amount of time, so I'm just going to jump straight into a workflow. So what we allow you to do is to start building workflows based on the different blocks that we have. So you'll see blocks on the left-hand side. If there's a job that you want to have done, there's probably a block for it, and you can drag them in and you can build them out. This workflow is replicating an employee chat workflow. So if you think about your business, you've probably got a whole lot of data that's already sitting in your business that you can start surfacing for people. What we're seeing is businesses, once they're trained, their team members are able to build within an hour or two a workflow to do a job. So that's at a low code level. We also have a pro code backend that you can get a developer or someone who's more technical in your team to jump in, and it uses a language called Python. I know that Pythons are snakes. I don't know that I don't know about the language called Python, but hey, here we go. So SmartSpace ships with an end user interface as well. So we've got an end user interface that we can push out to everybody in your business. And as a part of that, if they've got access to different workflows or agents, as we call them, they can access those here. So I'm just going to use the employee chat for the moment. And let's just say I've had an accident in my company car. And I want to know what to do, because I know the information's there. I know somewhere in our organization, but I don't actually know how to find it. Oops. Everyone gets to see my typing. Now, the demo gods, hopefully they work well. This is one of our development platforms. So it can take a while to have a think about what's going on. A lot of that is tunable. So we can turn that speed up. We just choose not to because it's a development environment. But what we'll see is we'll get a response back, and it should give me 4 or 5 steps on what I've got to do. And it'll also give me a source. So now I can actually go find where that document is, so I can go looking for it. So you'll see here, oops, I've got 2 computers and 2 mouses, and I'm using the wrong one. So you'll see here it's giving me a handful of steps. There's a requirement that I've got to report something to the police if there's damage involved, and then I can go looking for the document, and away we go. So that's, I guess, a nice, simple use case. Now, each of these use cases that sit within here, we can build out, and they can get it a lot more complex. So the next one I'm going to go to is called a fund manager. Now, we call it our fund manager because, hey, it feels a little bit Wolf of Wall Street. Let's just go with that. You'll see this is a little bit more complicated. But what this is doing is this is doing the job of research on a certain company from a number of different perspectives and providing a recommendation. So if you need to do research for your business, then each of these different perspectives we can change. And I'll get into that and how we do that. So if I go back to my chat interface, I've got my hedge fund manager, and you'll see I was just researching another company. So I can come in here and I can go research specific property fund. Now, behind the scenes, we've made documents available for this workspace so it can pull through that data. Now, if you want, we can actually upload documents. I'm not going to do that. So you'll see here we're now starting to get a little bit of dialogue back from the different agents that we've got set up. So we've got a financial analyst summary. So they're providing a summary that is then moved on to a high risk and a low risk portfolio manager. So the high risk portfolio manager, they're going to be going, let's do it. The low risk person, oh, I'm not so sure about this. For a couple of different perspectives, we get the legal and we get a final decision here on what we're going to do. So what we can now do is take decisions that could take quite a lot of time and actually get the different bits of information from different perspectives, maybe pass those to the people in our business to help start accelerating decisions. Now, this workflow, it isn't just about finance or investments or whatever. We can actually go into each of these blocks, and you'll see I can control the pre-prompt here. So I've told it it's a low-risk portfolio manager. I could actually run through each of these, and I could change those, and I could make this an insurance advisor, or maybe you sell your products to a range of different markets, and each of those could represent different markets. So you can start testing new product ideas quickly and easily based on the customer personas that you've developed. Make sense? So now the last one, and I appreciate I'm quite short on time here. So the last one that I'll jump into is
do the marketing one.
Yeah. So this is my business unit in a box. So this looks a little bit more complicated, but that's what marketing can be, right? We've got a bunch of creative individuals out there doing some really cool work for us. So if we think about marketing, what we can then start doing is supporting our marketing team with a range of different tools to help accelerate them. So I can go, help me with a project. And what I want to do is I'm going to do some work for SmartSpace. And I can choose. So we've now given the user some options, and they're preset options, so they don't necessarily go wandering off into the wrong place. So I've gone for a landing page. And I'll pop in our website. So bear in mind, this is a proof of concept, and what we could be doing is actually connecting this into other systems that we're using. So nobody actually knows SmartSpace is sitting there, but what I'll get in a couple of seconds is the content for a landing page with all the different headers and content types and so forth. So as you see here,
wow.
So now, and of course, if you think about that, that could be LinkedIn posts, or that could be EDMs or blogs and so forth. So you could actually be using a lot of the brand information that your organization has and creating tools that make it quicker for people to start producing content.
Because you can codify the tone of voice and your brand style elements and all those sorts of things into this, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And as a part of this, we've got the ability to connect to different data types. So SQL, we could be pulling documents in through SharePoint. We can integrate into your ERP system or whatever and bring that data in from where it is. So you're not having, you can leave things where they are and you don't have to disrupt your existing workflows to do that type of thing.
Okay, a couple of minutes left, David. Which kind of companies, what sort of organizations are getting, are seeing real impact out of using SmartSpace?
So I'll talk about two organizations. So one is RLB New Zealand. They're a quantity surveying organization. If you go to smartspace.ai/josh-can-do-it, you'll see a case study on that. So they're a quantity surveying organization. They're having to analyze lots of documents, produce a lot of reports, and a lot of kind of standardized work. They're using SmartSpace to accelerate their reporting and so forth. They actually had a Big Four organization come in and suggest that they needed a 6 or 7 figure budget to start an AI journey. And that was going to be their 3-year investment. And I said to Josh, so Josh was the director making the decision. I said to him, "This is great, Josh, because, well, for what we've been talking about, we're going to cost you 120 grand over the next 3 years. You've got $800,000 to go literally change your business and start implementing this type of technology everywhere." So that's one example of a real life client that we've got out there running. The other one's Okta Project Management. So Okta, very similar in many ways to a quantity surveyor. They spend a lot of time in the detail and the weeds in meetings. So one of their key things was, how do we start lifting the quality of the meeting minutes that we produce across our business and start standardizing those? Because they found that with 80 project managers, they're doing at least 2 meetings a day, and they could spend 3 or 4 hours doing complex meeting minutes. So we've turned that into probably a 20 or 30 minute process for them. So those are some great examples. And that example, if someone wants to go to the website, I'll pop it in the chat. It's Wade Can Do It.
Cool. Fantastic. Thank you so much, David. I really appreciate it. It's a fantastic platform. It's incredibly scalable. And of course built on Azure, means that it's embedded into tenancy, which is one of the key criteria for providing a safe, secure place for people to be using company data with AI to get work done faster. So I appreciate your time this morning. We've shared the use case in the chat, and I think it's added into the SmartSpace for you booth as well.
Thanks for the opportunity, Justin. I'll pop a offer to you where anyone here who wants to start can get 3 months of access to SmartSpace at no cost. There are some other costs, but our costs, there won't be any. So
thanks very much, David. Appreciate that. We will love to share that with everyone.
thank you.